It's an honor and a privilege to be in your presence once again, surrounded by friends and allies who share the common goal of promoting equality for all.
So that is Melania Trump back in April, and you might know that that was the first of 2 fundraisers that she did for the Log Cabin Republicans, that one being in Palm Beach. And there's a lot about that that's pretty notable. So first of all, she's not really doing any campaigning. She's not going around with Donald Trump. Second of all, the group that she's fundraising for is a group that represents the sort of Americans that have been utterly demonized by the Republican Party for hundreds of years, but also especially in the last few years. But then there's the third weird thing, and this I didn't know about. For that fundraiser, her speaking there, she was paid nearly $250,000 to speak briefly at a fundraiser, and that is very strange. It turns out it's one of her largest sources of income in the past year. They have to do the financial disclosures. And so she got most of her income from that. There was some from licensing fees and custom NFT collections. Now that event did raise over $1 million, so maybe it's an investment. But I want to ask you this because you've been more involved in actual electoral politics than me.
Sure.
Do people get paid to speak at fundraisers?
Not on my level, we didn't.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. As a stand-up comic, I always think it's funny when people ask me to do something for free. I'm like, did you also rent the venue? Did they give it to you for free? Did they give you the food for free? I guess, I mean, this is a way for the campaign to also, hoard the money.
Yeah.
We know that they want it. It's all a grift. It's all a grift. It's all. I mean, it is not uncommon for nonprofits, for people who are running for office to hire somebody. Yes, I'm not surprised, but more so, it's more in the. Sorry, it's always weird. People just like stop behind us.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. Yeah.
Dogs up. I should have told you. I'm like,
okay, so it does happen.
It does happen.
Okay.
I don't know anybody that's paid that much. And they certainly, again, they do things that are not normal. They do really weird things.
Yeah.
And by the way, I thought it sounded like she was giving like condolence, like it seemed like a funeral, like a eulogy or something.
Yeah, that would be appropriate probably, considering the way the Republican Party is going.
Yeah, I mean, I know that she had, I'm not saying because of her accent, just like even she didn't seem like she was thanking them for supporting equality for all. What?
Yeah, the tone is odd.
It's aggressive.
It always has been with her. I don't know. She's probably plagiarizing Michelle Obama.
By the way, can I just say about, I'm sorry. You were going to say about Michelle Obama. I was going to say about Michelle Obama, like the idea that, remember when they got mad that she had sleeveless dresses?
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, $250,000 speech. And Michelle Obama's going to speak, I think tonight actually at the DNC. So I'm sure she'll say something.
I hope she has a sleeveless dress on.
I really hope that it's a tan sleeveless dress. And brace yourself, everyone, for the flood. Twitter is just going to be about how Michelle Obama is secretly a man. That's all it's going to be tonight.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
They're very weird people.
I have a friend that I used to work with that is absolutely convinced.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get.
I mean, my theory is that they have convinced themselves that trans people are ruining everything. But the issue with having that be your narrative is there's not a lot of trans people to point to that are apparently ruining everything. So they have to invent trans people in athletics and in pop culture and there's so many actors that there are TikTok videos breaking down that they're secretly trans. And that's a hobby of theirs. It's a strange one. Yeah. The last thing I'll say about Melania is I get that people get paid to do speeches, but if you're the head person at a fundraiser, that's basically a charity event. Like they raised $1 million, but they could have raised a quarter more if you hadn't taken it. And it's just a really weird thing. Like she's clearly only there because she's involved with Donald Trump. And so effectively Donald Trump is just getting $1 million. Yeah. And that's not a violation of campaign finance. Again, we have such a weird system.
Well, and now back to your point that I ran for office. I remember there was a point where they're like, you can pay yourself from the campaign. And I'm like, why would I do that? I'm running for office, and there are people.
Is that a thing you can do?
Yeah, that's a thing you can do.
I'm running for governor.
I was just like, well, why would you do that? That's a problem, I think, for like people who have, who are really feeling the call to serve, right? Is like, why do you want me to take advantage of this situation? Sure. And other people fall for it. And then like back to George Santos. It's like, oh, I can get away with this. I can.
That's true.
There are rules that make it possible for me to do this, and they get lured into it.
Yeah, and then the other side of that is there's a lot of people who would probably love to serve, and how do you do that when you're not getting paid? How do you take time off of your work?
Well,
how do you raise money? You get crushed.
Yeah, you have to be okay to be in debt. Still paying it off. I'm fine. Totally fine. It's all good.
Totally fine. Love it.
Make sure you give some more money to so maybe he'll buy me a coffee somewhere.
Thank you. Well, you're the one providing coffee, apparently.
By the way, folks suggested that you leave the facility and get coffee nearby, support local. Only they don't realize how many streets are shut down.
Oh no, I would love to do that, everyone, but you don't know that getting back in could take an hour.
Yes.
It's like I can't just walk to a business. I'll be stuck for an hour in the blazing sun. But I like the suggestion, and I would love to shop local. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?